That voice right there, Heather B, has educated people for years now.
Us included.
Has uplifted people for years now.
Us included.
Has intrigued their intellect with his literary writings for years now.
Us included.
He has been very vocal in speaking and manifesting things into existence and showing folks how to do it.
He calls into the show.
Yo, listen, Heather, last time I saw him, I was about 15 pounds heavier.
And then what happened?
And then we did our contest. I won, and I just stayed consistent.
Well, who got the money?
Well, right.
Tracy. That's why you here.
She's still holding on to the money because we still not ready.
Because they never finished. He want to say he won, but they never finished.
Tracy done paid car notes and rent bills, laundry bills.
I'm going on vacation tomorrow. Guess who paid for it?
Come on, man. And so we did one of Dr. Ian Smith's programs, right? And we put up how much? $250
each, right?
Including Dr. Ian.
And to see whoever lose the most pounds. And I don't know what happened.
We quit.
Let me tell you, that money is in a jar in a secret space in my living room.
Good, Tracy. We trust you.
Getting no interest.
So should I give it to y'all? Or are we gonna reset?
No, we reset in January. I got a new book coming out in January called Eat Your Age.
Eat your age.
Eat your age. That's January. That's
I
January.
love that. What does that mean? Well,
That's
first of all, give it up for Dr. Ian Smith. He's back. Hold on, man. So wait, well, is that why? Like, okay, so when you're 20, you're able to take in a different kind of cuisine than you do in 40.
Absolutely. So this book concept is this. So starting in your 30s, for every decade of your life, what are the best foods to eat? The best exercise for your decade? What are the tests you need to have? What are the numbers you need to know for every? So your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s plus.
That's good.
That is good.
I like that. Eat
January.
your age.
Eat your age.
What? Go ahead, Trace.
No, please.
What made you, did you just have so many calls and inquiries about it that you decided maybe I need to put this in the age thing? What made you go in this direction?
Because people would ask me advice. They say I'm 35, they're asking advice. Someone saying I'm 50 or 65 asking advice. And the same advice doesn't necessarily work for everybody, right? Because your body's changing, right? A 60-year-old woman has different issues than a 30-year-old woman. And so I was like, well, you can't uniformly just give the same information, though some of it is shared, but a lot of it could be decade specific. So I was trying for the I've had this idea for a while. I was trying to figure out how do you put it into a book so that everyone feels like they can get something out of it. And so I finally figured out the formatting, and so in January it's going to be Eat Your Age.
That's a dope title, too.
That's good.
Yeah.
Simple. Eat your age. I'm going to skip through the 20s, the 30s, the 40s.
And get right there.
Right there.
But it also helps parents, you know what I mean? For those who do have children that are
Yes.
in their 20s or younger, also caretakers, those who are taking, care
Yes.
of their parents' well-being. It makes me wonder, if you don't mind, Dr. Ian Smith, Sway, much of his family goes beyond the centennial years. And I am willing to predict.
Good genes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jeez.
I'm willing to predict
Don't mess it
Sway.
up.
I'm trying not to. That's why you're here.
I'm willing
Sway
to
don't know
predict
who his people are.
Whatever.
I believe that Sway's gonna be in the 100-year-old gang.
Wow.
What would you say? I'm claiming that.
Look at me and keep your smile on. Like Dr. Ian looked at me like, I don't know, Tracy.
What's some advice that you would give to someone in that decade?
Well, the first thing I would say about that comment is, do you see yourself at 100? That's a real question.
I honestly, I do.
Okay,
I
so
see.
let me tell you why I say that.
I'll be honest with you. I do.
No, that's good. You should. I do too, by the way.
Yeah.
So when I was getting off the plane
great
yesterday
question.
at LaGuardia, this lady I helped her get her bag out. We were walking onto the jet bridge, and I was just watching her. Okay, she probably was about, I don't know, 63, 64. But I just thought to myself, like, if I could work on this lady, this is how I think. I know I wouldn't say anything to her, but I think if I could work on this lady, what would I tell this lady? What do you think I would tell this lady? She was struggling a little bit. What do you think I would tell? What's the one thing I would tell her to start doing?
And you were at the airport with her?
She was walking up the jet bridge, struggling a little bit with her little rolly.
Okay.
What would I tell this lady?
Hire an
Muscle.
assistant.
Yeah.
Where's your grandson?
Strength
Wait, someone
training,
said, there you go.
protein, mobility.
Lift weights.
Yep.
Women underestimate what lifting weights will do for you. And even men of a certain age. And what happens is we get older, and then our muscles start atrophying, right? And then your joints become unstable, and all of a sudden you're kind of like frail and you can't get around. People understand lifting weights is not trying to grow huge muscles, but it's about maintaining muscle strength so that you can take your bag out from the overhead. You can walk up a jet bridge without any problems. So people's functionality starts to decline because their muscle mass is declining. And I don't think enough older people lift enough weights or do resistance bands.
Yes.
I mean, and so I want to say, lady, man, we got to work out like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
My wife
That's all you would say, minimum 3 times a week?
at her age, absolutely. That's all she needs to, like, you know,
For function,
Right. When you're that old and you're that deconditioned, you don't need a lot. Now, that's not going to work for us.
Yeah.
Sway and I would need, you know, much more than that. But for her, that's all she needs.
Wait, hold up. How many times a week we need?
5.
Shit.
5 times.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah.
For function.
You heard that, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But the 5 times a week would yield what results for you and Sway? That's for someone who has the goals of.
Yeah, it depends on your goal. So my goal is always building muscle mass. I'm not trying to lose any weight. I'm trying to make sure my weight doesn't go down, but I can build more muscle mass. So I'm keeping my lean muscle mass to fat ratio high, which is what Sway would try to do. And so you have to do a lot of resistance training and eat well.
So my girlfriends and I were out on Sunday, and we got word that another a friend of ours wasn't doing so well, and the doctor had mentioned to her that since she didn't want to take Mounjaro or Ozempic, that he would recommend 5 days a week doing maximum a half hour walking. And I found that
Wait. But she wasn't doing well in what way, though?
just struggling with her weight, and said that she was absolutely doing nothing in terms of just moving around, and that if she started out right now just a half hour a day, that her numbers would change drastically. Do you agree with that?
100%. Because
Oh, wow.
the amount of work you need to do is only in context to where you are. If you are severely deconditioned, which means you haven't worked out in a long time, you're out of shape, you just require a small amount on a consistent basis to get results. Someone like us, we work out a lot, so we require more work because our baseline is already so high. Right?
Yeah.
So if she were just moving around, and by the way, a lot of people listening right now, if you were just moving around more, though I would like you to kind of be more vigorous in your exercise, but just moving around 30 minutes, 5 days a week in a focused way is going to make a difference. Then you're on a plateau, though.
Yeah.
Because, right, your body's going to adjust to, okay, I'm used to walking, you know, for a mile and a half, 2 miles. So then you gotta bump it up a little bit. Bump it up.
Yourself,
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well explained.
Yeah. 5 times a week, y'all. Let's get it, man.
That's what Sway stuck on.
Let's go.
You still got Sway stuck on 5 times a week.
Dr.
Sway
Ian
like,
Smith
no
is here.
shortcut.
Go to song, man. Go to song. We're
Play something.
We're going to open up the phone lines. Get to know him. Ian Smith is here. Dr. Ian Smith. Dr. Ian Smith is here.
Yep.
Now, we're talking health, but
We should always talk health. though.
always got to talk health. One of the things I admire about him most is some of the things that he does outside of health.
Yeah.
Perhaps he does them for reasons of health,
There you go.
therapy or otherwise, but you have a new book out,
I do.
Eagle Rock.
Eagle Rock. I'm excited about this.
Okay, another Ash Kane collection.
Yes.
Come on,
Come
man.
on, novelist.
Yeah, this is the 4th installment of Ash Kane, Eagle Rock. It's so here's the premise of this book. Now, for all my truck drivers, every time I come on the show, all the truck drivers email me or hit me up on Instagram. Okay, by the way, my Instagram is at Dr. Ian Smith. Spell the doctor out, I-A-N Smith. And they always ask me questions. I'm in the truck all day. Okay, I got something to keep you busy while you're in the truck. Because the audio of this book is bananas. So Eagle Rock is Elliot Cantor, billionaire Chicago man, is found tied up to his 4-poster bed in a secret apartment in Lincoln Park near downtown Chicago wearing women's lingerie. And his son is with the police, and the police say there's only one guy who can really help you figure out what happened here. That's Ash Kane.
Ash Kane.
That's Ash Kane.
Ash Kane. Ash Kane.
Ash Kane.
Better than Columbo.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Olivia Pope.
Come on.
So he takes on the case. Ash never takes on a case right away. He always says, I don't want to take this case. He told the guy, listen, it's golf season. I'm trying to get my handicap down below 10. I'm not working this summer. Then something just says, man, what happened to this guy? So he takes the case, and we're off and running. You know, I love these books. You're right, by the way.
Yeah.
I've always loved reading thrillers and mysteries, but I like reading things that are fast paced.
Yeah.
Like I like reading a book where I cannot put it down. You know, like I have certain authors where like I can't wait for them to come out every single year because they just move. Lee Child is one of them, though he's now given the franchise to his brother. But anyway, so I write my books like I like to read them, which is they're very fast paced. My goal is to keep you up late at night reading, trying to get one more chapter in. And I hope you love my characters. Ash Kane, you know, I wrote Ash Kane straight. Asked me this morning at Good Morning America.
Michael Strahan. You can't just say Stray.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'm talking to you. Yeah. So Strahan asked me this morning, you know, why'd you write Ash Kane? Because I wanted to write a character that I've never seen in books or on the screen. So I wanted a brother who was intelligent, but who was fearless, who would fight you in a minute, but also reason with you. Someone who can quote Shakespeare as well as Biggie. Somebody who can go to the hard west side of Chicago and go to the affluent north side. So Ash Kane is all these things, and he's just smooth. I always say, if I were to die to come back, I want to be Ash Kane.
I was going to say, it sound like you.
No, it's not me. No, I want to be that.
But
I want to be that.
You know Biggie, you don't know Shakespeare?
I know Shakespeare.
I
I know Milton too.
You know Milton, yeah. Hey.
And you reason, but you could fight if you had to.
Yeah, but you know, I don't choose violence.
Of
but
course.
but I would love to be Ash Kane. So I wrote Ash Kane. I wrote the guy who I wanted to be.
Listen, citizens, I want to encourage all of you to pick up and support this series. You know, Ash Kane. It's an Ash Kane novel brought to you by the one and only Ian K. Smith.
Hey.
He's a New York Times best-selling author. Okay, and this one is called Eagle Rock. And not for nothing, I was looking at this, I don't know if it was a poll. I was reading this article about literacy in our youth in the country today. Is skyrocketing downward.
Bad.
Kids can't read or write.
Bad.
That's what makes this so special. They see someone that looks like you who can obviously write and read, but how can we, what do we do to get our children more intrigued with the reading process?
Well, you know, it's interesting. So as a kid, I loved reading. And I think I loved reading because I was a poor kid, and reading allowed me to go to places that I could never go. I couldn't afford to go to places.
Yeah.
And so I could lose myself in books, right? And I could travel over to Paris and, you know, travel all over the world in these stories that were great stories. And so, but I think that we have to expose our kids to good everyone likes a good story, right? Everybody. And it may not always be reading a hardcover. I'm an old school guy, I like hardcovers. It may be listening to audiobooks. In fact, this guy, here's a quick story. I was working on this rehab house in Chicago, and the guy who came over, this electrician, was a brother, which is rare to have
the electrician was a brother?
Yeah, I was very happy about that, by the way.
Come on, get a black man some money.
Right. And so he shows up, but he's got his phone going. So I'm listening. He's listening to an audiobook. And the brother said to me, he said, you mind if I listen to this while I work? I said, no, he doesn't. I go by a different name, so he didn't know that I was.
Oh, you have an alias?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So he thought
Ash Kane.
He thought I worked. That would be a good one. But he thought I worked for the house. I told him that I was helping manage the property. It's my property, but you know. Yeah. So the guy says, "Do you mind if I listen to this?" I'm like, "Oh my goodness, I love this," but I didn't want to be all excited because he'd be like, "This guy's weird." Like, I was like, "Yeah, listen to it." So when he finished, I was like, "Hey, what you listening to?" "Oh, I listened to this series, this sci-fi series." The love this guy had for this was amazing. So my whole thing was, even though I have more tactile, I like to touch a book and page.
Yeah.
But have kids listen to books. Audio books are great. Digital books are great. But however you can expose them to good stories. And it doesn't have to be, you know, Shakespeare and Faulkner and Hemingway.
Yeah.
Who said these guys are the canon?
Yeah.
The literary canon. That every time you go to school, you have to read.
These people.
Right. The Heart of Darkness, Joseph Conrad. No, why can't you read other authors that are newer, that look like us, that talk like us? So just give them good stories.
Give them good stories, man. We got Dr. Ian K. Smith here. The new book is called Eagle Rock, a part of the Ash Kane series. Get the audio book.
Word.
or get the hard copy book. You're good to have on your shelf. Heather, you want to say something?
Yeah, because I feel like, Ian, this always, every time you come up here to speak about the series itself, it always reads and sounds like, and it also seems like you're writing from a very visual perspective in hopes, I hope at least, that you're looking to put this on a screen.
Word.
So I was telling Kalani before I came in here, he said, how long does it take you to write these books? I spend 2 to 3 months writing in my head. I write the whole book in my head because I see it like a film. I visually see it. I see the characters. I see the scenes. These books all take place in Chicago-based series. But once I have the beginning, how it opens up, how does that scene look? Like I imagine this guy, a really rich guy in a secret apartment tied up wearing women's lingerie. Why? So I got my opening. Then I go to my middle. That's where things change. I go to my ending. Once I have that, excuse me, then I can kind of bend everything in. Then I sit down and start writing. So it takes about 3 months of writing into the computer, but I spend 2 months in my head first. And so I think you have to have a process. That's my process. But I see this as a TV series. In fact, we're pitching it now, so let's see what happens. I mean, Hollywood is fickle, but yeah, I'd love to see Ash Kane on the screen.
All right, let me see. Let me see.
Wick, can you fit
Where
in?
are you gonna be?
Yeah. You see, Simon Cantor. Maybe I'll be Simon, Elliot's son.
You don't want to be in the lingerie, Sway?
Uh-oh.
Wow, Tracy.
Wait.
I was going to say, you sound selfish. I feel like there could be like a news station, a news channel, like reporting news and different things like that.
true.
You could bring us in.
And that's for him. That's an easy connector to go from scene to scene, or
I'm gonna work you in one of my books.
Come on, please do, bro.
I'm serious.
You gotta make it
If
plural.
you put me in and not put them in, then I got a headache every
It's
day.
a problem. No,
Every day.
Every day.
I got the whole
Every day,
team.
Sway.
I got the whole team.
That's why I said make
All
it a news channel.
All right, let's take a couple of calls real quick. Will is in Louisiana. Go ahead, Will. Say hi to Dr. Ian
What's
Smith.
up,
Will,
Will?
Hey, Will, what up, Will?
First off, grand rising to my kings and queens. How y'all feeling today?
Ooh-wee.
Peace to the gods and the earths.
Hey, Dr. Smith. I got a question for you. Before I premise this, let me let you know I'm 23 and a half years in the Army, and this past year, last February, I got diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. So I used to be, hovering around like 175, 180 in the gym all the time. And now I'm probably about like 163, and I'm struggling trying to, looking at my body in the mirror, knowing what I used to be into now, and knowing my limitations with this dealing with this arthritis. What would you recommend?
How old are you?
I'm 40. I just turned 46.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'8".
Okay, listen. Arthritis, as you know, is an autoimmune disease, right?
Yes.
Which means that your immune system is out of whack. Beyond, obviously, you gotta talk to your doctor, right? A specialist. But beyond that, and take his advice. I don't want to give you, medical advice over him, but look at anti-inflammatory diets. You've heard of that?
No.
Yeah. So one of the problems with people with rheumatoid arthritis is they have a lot of inflammation, particularly in their joints, right? Your fingers, your knees. It starts in the small joints first. But there are a lot of anti-inflammatory diets that you can eat that actually reduce the amount of inflammation, and that can help you in conjunction with whatever your doctor is putting you on. So Google anti-inflammatory diets. But also,
Okay.
are you on Instagram?
Yeah, I have a page, but I'm really not.
I was gonna say that
I don't
sounded
really
real.
heavily get on it.
Okay. Listen, get someone young in your family to send me a message on Instagram. My Instagram is at Dr. Ian Smith. Spell the doctor out, Ian Smith, and send me some anti-inflammatory diets. Okay.
I'll do it. I'll do it myself.
Yeah. Well, I was
Okay.
gonna say, don't get nobody to do that for you,
Yeah.
man. Go ahead and learn that, brother.
Make turmeric your best friend.
Yes, man.
Word.
Hey,
Yes.
we'll
Yes.
appreciate your call, man. And
Hey,
yes.
Hey, if I may, one last thing. Sway, Tracy G, and Heather. Hey, I don't know if y'all remember, but a couple of years ago, I was in Washington State, so I used to call you guys. And I know y'all wanted me to call back because I had some news, and I tried to call. And I know this is not Thursday, so I'm going to wrap it up real quick. But I finally got my walking papers. My retirement has been approved.
Oh,
Wow,
January-
beautiful.
So January 31st of this 24, of next year,
25.
I'll retire with 24 years and 6 months.
Wow.
Man.
God bless you, brother. That's
Congratulations,
beautiful.
man.
Will.
Congratulations.
So get that inflammatory diet together so you don't.
so
That's
you can
right.
enjoy it.
So you can enjoy
Anti-inflammatory.
anti-inflammatory diet, so you can get on that beach and take your shirt off.
Come on.
All right, Will.
Congrats.
All right, man. You're a citizen, brother.
Sway in the morning.
All right,
Wow.
we got a lot of callers. Wilbert in Louisiana also. Hit up Dr. Ian K directly at.
Dr. Ian Smith, spell the doctor out, I-A-N Smith. Also, by the way, I'm going to do something today. I always try to give something away, right?
You always do, yeah.
I do. Whoever orders a copy of Eagle Rock, my new novel, I will give you a free copy of the book coming out in January called Eat Your Age. But you got to send me either a DM and say you heard me on Sway, okay? Or you can email me, Ash Kane Books, ASHECAYNE books @gmail.com. And just find me, tell me, hey, I ordered a copy of the book. Make sure in January you send me a copy of Eat Your Age. I'll do that.
And I want to encourage y'all who tuned in, all our citizens tuned in.
That's dope.
Because the citizenship here that tune into this show, everybody's of their own boss, right?
Yep.
And, you know, we stick together, and it's a lot of cohesiveness. It's a lot of entrepreneurs who started businesses calling in on this show, right, and have gone off. Now the things that were their hobbies are now their primary jobs. This man has given us so much over the years when he comes up to this show. You got to understand to have the accreditation that he has, to be called a doctor, all the work he's done, all the shows he's done, all this work that he's put into his craft, to his profession, and he gives us this information for free.
Ain't that something?
So let's show some reciprocity and support his book, right? Hit him up, DM him
Yes.
at Dr.
Ian Smith, spell the doctor out.
Spell the doctor out, or go to Ash Kane.
Books @gmail.com. Send me an email.
All right, Dr. Ian Smith.
Much
as
love,
always,
y'all.
man. Always good to
Thank
see you,
you.
brother.
Thank
My
you,
brother right
Thank
here,
you.
man.